Hey guys, what's happening? We finally got some more Age of Empire 4 news. First campaign and gameplay details revealed. Let's do it. Show us what you got.
History is the hard-fought road from ambition to victory.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Leanna Hafer
Look
bringing
at
you the first
arrows.
gameplay reveal
Nice.
for Age of Empires 4. The footage you're seeing here is from a hands-off presentation, but I also got to talk to Relic and Microsoft and ask some questions to add a little bit more context to what we're looking at. Starting out here with one
Feels
of
more
the
zoomed in.
4 factions we know about so far, out of the 8 that the game will be launching with, which is the Indian Delhi Sultanate. My biggest question with Age of Empires 4 was, is this going to look more like an old school Age of Empires game, or is it going to look more like a Relic game? Since it is being developed by Relic, who did Dawn of War, Homeworld, and Company of Heroes, they have sort of a different style.
Played any of those.
The answer seems to be that it is pretty much a traditional Age of Empires game, for the most part. You
That's
build
good.
a base, you collect resources, you build walls, all that classic stuff. Army size will be about 200 units in multiplayer, sometimes higher than that in the campaign, they said. Also have the Chinese civilization here. So 8 factions is, not a lot compared to some of the other Age of Empires
really
games, but they
isn't.
want them to play more distinctly
That's good.
than the
That's good.
factions you might be used to, rather than just having like maybe
Quality
a couple
over
unique
quantity.
technologies and a unique unit or two. As you can see here, the Chinese have crossbows as well as what look like fire lances and also some rockets we're going to see in a second. So that's kind of interesting. They all kind of follow the basic rock, paper, scissors formula of, pikes beat cavalry, cavalry beat range units beat pikes, but they'll also mix it up.
Crazy
a little
range
bit.
on those rockets.
One of the factions that was revealed that we didn't actually get to see gameplay footage of is the Mongols. And they're going to play a lot differently in that they are a fully nomadic faction. They can actually pick up and move their buildings, including their
That's very
town center,
interesting.
and they won't build walls.
That's very
So this here
interesting.
is
Kinda like the
little bit of
Terrans
footage
in
from
StarCraft.
the Norman campaign, which also reveals the final of the 4 civilizations we got to hear about, which is the English. It's sort of being presented, they said, almost like a documentary, where they're actually going to use like live action drone footage of some of these battlefields.
Oh, really?
It's going to kind of follow William the Conqueror and his descendants and all of the sort of power struggles they got into down the line in establishing modern England. One of the coolest things that we learned about all of these factions is that as you progress through the ages, in addition to changing visually and what units you have access to, it's actually going to change the language that the units are speaking when you click on them and give them orders. So
nice.
like in
Wow.
the Dark Age,
That's impressive.
English units will be speaking Old English, like Beowulf Old English, and then they'll progress to like Middle English,
That's very cool.
up to early modern English in the Imperial Age, which is more kind of like Shakespearean. Here we can see some of that live action footage they're talking about. They're going to have narration going, not just between missions, but also while you're playing too, to kind of describe what you're doing and what your objectives are and why you have those objectives, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's very much, they said, a game made to satisfy Age of Empires fans, more so than fans of other Relic games. There are some nice little touches
the
in
whole
here.
point.
They added the ability for units to hide in forests. And if your units are hiding in a forest and are unrevealed, they'll actually whisper when you.
I find
click
the
on them
arrows a
instead of
bit
using their
big, let's say.
their full outside voices.
But maybe
so
just
you
for,
don't quite
visual
get that same
gameplay.
like intimacy with your units that you might in a Dawn of War game or a Company of Heroes game. But there are little touches of that kind of Relic flavor in there as well.
Cool.
It's almost like Age of Empires 2 Part 2 is kind of how it looks in terms of the era that's covered.
That's what people
and
want.
Also how gameplay seems to work, which, it's playing it a little bit on the safe side, but I'm pretty excited to especially get my hands on some of the more out there factions like the Mongols, and also just see what a classic Age of Empires game looks and feels like with modern graphics, modern UI, and all of the lessons that they've learned from doing the definitive editions. They worked with World's Edge and Microsoft, to the teams that were behind those as well. So that is that's about all we got to see so far, but more details are to come. So for everything Age of Empires, keep it right here on IGN.
Cool. Okay, I got a lot of things to say. Hold on a second. So a couple of things I want to speak about. So the arrows, I find it to be very large, but again, that could be just for gameplay purposes, so you see exactly what's hitting what. Number two, a lot of Eastern nations, right? You had the Mongols, Chinese, and the Indians. Then you have the English on the other side, which is a very interesting choice, which is fine, of course. Also, I don't know why. I remember, was it in the art book for Age of Empires 3? The Age of Empires 4 was supposed to be like set like in fairly modern times, something like there was a guy. I don't know if I'm imagining this or if I actually saw it. There was a guy basically wearing like a green uniform, something that very modern, something from like Vietnam War or something, something from like the, I don't know, 70s or 80s or something, And from the looks of this, it feels like there's still, like they said, it's still kind of like an Age of Empires 2 Part 2, right? I mean, Age of Empires 3, Age of Empires 1, Age of Empires 2, and Age of Empires 3 all followed a chronological order in real time, right? While Age of Empires 4 seems to be going back before Age of Empires 3, because Age of Empires 3 had like, the New World, and, you had like guns and stuff, and this one feels to be going back to like crossbows and bows, so on and so forth. I guess maybe they found out that they couldn't really make it happen with like modern units or something, which I find it very strange because I feel they could have done it. I was kind of like expecting a more modern take on Age of Empires, something based like in the, I don't know, 1900s, 1950s or more, but then you probably have to go to World War II and stuff, which I can see why they wouldn't go there because there's a lot of games, strategy games on World War II. So I don't know. I still think I would have loved to see what Age of Empires could have done with that. But anyways, I mean, so far, yeah, it looks freaking awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to play this. I'm currently I just did a complete play of Age of Empires 1, all of it, all the campaigns, hardest difficulty. I'm supposed to be playing the second one, and I want to beat the third one as well before I get to the fourth one. I gotta complete them all before I get to the fourth one. But we'll see how that goes. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.